Okay, let's start in a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs or you can kneel. You can even sit on a chair if it's more comfortable for you. We'll take a few minutes to settle the body and find a steady breath. So closing your eyes, making sure you've picked a position where your spine is nice and tall and you can let go around your shoulders, your neck and your jaw. Whenever you feel ready, take a big inhale through your nose and you can sigh it out through your mouth. And you can do this another couple of times. And then begin to take slightly longer inhales and exhales. Guiding the air right into the sides of your lungs and the back of your body. And seeing if you can increase the length of your exhales. Letting go of any gripping or holding on around your eyebrows or forehead or temples. Letting your jaw and your mouth relax. And also checking if you're gripping or holding on around your belly or your lower back. And take 2 more really full and steady breaths. And then when you finish breathing out, slowly start to blink your eyes open. And we'll come into a twist to begin. So take your right hand behind your back, your left hand across to your opposite knee. Draw tall as you inhale. And then as you exhale, twist around, looking over your right shoulder. Right shoulder draws back, left shoulder draws forward. Pull in your lower belly and lift up out of your waist. Take 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, come back to the middle and swap sides. So you're taking your right hand across, your left hand behind. Lift up tall, inhale and exhale, rotate around. One more breath. And then come back to the middle. Make your way over onto all fours. Align your shoulders over your wrists, your knees under your hips. Neutralize your spine so that it's flat. Tuck your right toes under, stretch your leg out behind, lift up your heel. Also lift your left arm forward if you want a little bit more. Stretch your fingers, inhale, lift fingers and heel. As you exhale, bring your elbow to your knee and round your back. 2 more. Inhale, lift, lengthen, stretch. Exhale, curl. Last one. And this time find the stretch again. And then bend your right knee, reach your left arm back, take hold of your foot. Push your foot into your hand and lift up to the sky. If your balance is okay, turn your head, look up to the ceiling. Push your foot firmly into your hand. Push down with your right hand. 1 more breath. Great. Keep your foot where it is, but then soften the grip with your fingers and let go. And then slowly bring your hand and foot back to the floor. Great. Take a moment to adjust or make any movements. You can do a disco cat. And then let's go on the other side. So this time we're tucking the left toes under. Stretch your leg out, lift your heel. Right arm reaches forward. Stretch and lift. Inhale, find a back bend. Exhale, elbow to knee to nose. 2 more. Go with your breath. And then the next time you're extending, hold. Find the opening in your chest, bend your knee, reach back with your right hand. Take your foot into your hand, open your shoulder, push and lift. Turn your head, look up over your right shoulder. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Really push your foot into your hand till you feel your opening in your shoulder. And then keep your foot and leg locked in space, but release the grip of your hand. So your right shoulder blade, your left hamstring are engaged. Last breath. And then slowly, hand down, knee down. Draw your shoulders forwards and backwards and your hips side to side. Brilliant. And then spread your fingers. Tuck your toes, lift up your hips, push the floor away. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Use this time to pedal your heels, nod your head, sway your hips. And really feel that all 10 of your fingers are pushing into the floor. Let your head go. For 1 more breath, find some stillness. You can soften your knees, tip your tailbone up towards the sky. And then take an inhale to lift your right leg, bend your knee, twist from your waist, squeeze your heel in towards your bum. And then we'll bring the right knee forwards towards the left elbow, bring your shoulders beyond your wrists. Good, twist back up, lift your leg, open from your waist, squeeze your heel. Once again, knee to left elbow, so bring it forwards, cross it, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Last one, lift up, bend, open from your waist, squeeze your heel to your bum. This time, as we take the knee across to the left, straighten out your leg, bring the side of your foot to the floor, maybe take it a little further, and then lift your left arm, come onto the big toe side of your left foot for fallen triangle. Push into your right hand, lift your hips to the sky, flex your right foot. Last breath. Brilliant. Bring your left hand down, come straight up to your 3-legged dog, right leg up to the sky, and then downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Big sigh out through your mouth. And then lift your left leg. Bend from the knee, twist from your waist. Squeeze your heel in towards your bum. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, knee to your right elbow, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift, open to the left, squeeze your heel to your bum. Exhale, knee to right elbow, shoulders over wrists. Last one, lift up, twist and open, squeeze. And then fallen triangle, take your left knee towards your left elbow, come onto the sides of your feet and lift your right arm up. Lift your hips to the sky, push down through your left arm. 1 more breath. Great stuff. Right hand down, lift your left leg up to the ceiling. And then bring yourself into a high plank. Shoulders over your wrists. Push into your arms. Tip your heels away, tailbone slightly under. You want the feeling you're doming in your upper back. Pop down your knees. Drop your chest, but keep your arms straight. So you want that feeling of your shoulders lifting up to the sky. And then bend your elbows. Come all the way down onto your front. Untuck your toes. Lift from your heart. So chest forward, elbows in, point your toes. Lift your knees off the floor. You want the slight feeling that you're tucking your tailbone down, so pubic bone into the mat. Inhale, and then exhale, lower down. Roll over your knees, tuck your toes, come back to downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, bend your knees, twist from your waist, squeeze your heel into your bum. This time we're going to take the knee to the right elbow, so same knee as elbow, shoulders over wrist. Inhale, lift up, find your twist from your waist, squeeze your heel to your bum. Exhale, knee to elbow. Shoulders over wrists. Good. Last one. Lift up. Open from your waist. Look at your right little finger. Bring your right knee as if you're going to touch your elbow, but then place your foot where your right hand was and lift up your right arm so you're coming into a twist. Push into your left hand. If your wrists are getting tired, you can use a fist instead. Open your waist and squeeze your inner thighs in like you're holding something between your legs. One more breath. Really root down through your legs. Good. Bring your right hand back down. Hands flat on the floor. Push into your hands. Take your shoulders over your wrists and push your right knee into the top of your right arm like this. So you've got a firm connection. And it really helps to have your shoulders over your wrists. And then see if you can push into your hands. Keep your knee and your upper arm in contact. Lift your toes up with your right foot and then maybe lift your foot up so you're in a half crow. Shoulders over wrist, push into your arms, one more breath. And then fly your leg up high for a three-legged dog. And then place it back down. Big breath in, spread your fingers. Big sigh out. And then inhale, lift your left leg, twist from your waist, squeeze your heel into your bum. Exhale, knee to left elbow, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, lift up first and then open and twist. Exhale, knee to elbow, shoulders over wrists. Last one. Lift up and twist. This time look at your left hand. You want to place your foot where your hand was. Lift your arm up, find your twist. Push into your right hand. You can use your fist if you want to rest your wrist. Inner thighs engage. Squeeze your inner thighs in. Lift your chest. Take one more breath. And then bring your your left hand back down. Flatten your right hand if you made your fist. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Make that strong connection between your arm and your knee. And then lift your foot. Push into your arms. Feel your abdominals switching on for one more breath. And then shoot your left leg up really high. Take an inhale. Exhale. Left hand comes down, shoulders over wrists for your high plank. By all means, drop your knees. But if you can, go with straight legs. We're bending the elbows, holding a low plank, and then coming onto the tops of your feet for upward facing dog. Or if you went all the way down, come up to cobra. And then exhale to down dog. Take a big breath in and a huge sigh out. And then soften your knees. Walk your hands back towards your feet till you end up hanging forwards. Shake out your arms. You can take whatever grip you like with your hands. Knees can bend as much as you like. Make any movement here. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. So use your exhale to find a little bit more of a feeling of letting go. And if you haven't already now, find some stillness. Give in to gravity. Let your head go. Last breath. Good. Drop your arms if you've taken a grip with them. Bend your knees. Don't worry if your feet are together or apart. Drop your hips, lift your arms, come to Utkatasana for 3 breaths. Bend your knees, tip your weights with your heels. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Open your chest. Spread your fingers. If you need more space, take your elbows wider. Sink your hips for the last breath. And then straighten all the way up. And let your hands come down by your sides. Great stuff. Step your legs wide. We'll come into warrior 2. So your right foot's pointing forwards. You're bending your knee. And your left leg is straight with your outer edge, little toe side of your foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Turn your head to look towards your right hand. Palms of the hands face the floor. Stretch your fingers away from each other, and we'll take 3 breaths here. So often here, shoulders tend to get really grippy, so find that softness in your shoulders. Breathe into your belly. Feel your feet flat on the floor. One more breath. Excellent. Straighten your right knee. We're going to come into triangle, so I know I need to bring my left foot in a little, but you may not need to. Stretch over to the right, so you want to keep the right side of your waist long, and then draw your left shoulder back, windmill your arms, and lift up your left arm. So left shoulder draws back, right shoulder draws back, forwards. Squeeze your glutes into the middle. Feel your feet on the floor. You might find you don't need that right hand. So if you can hold this twist in place, reach forwards like you're offering someone a plate of biscuits. If only. Keep pushing down through your feet. You've got this. One more breath. Lovely. Bring yourself up. Stretch out your arms. Turn your right toes in. Bring your hands to your hips. Maybe give your shoulders a roll. Open your chest. Stick out your tail. Hinge forward for Prasarita Padottanasana. Let your hands rest on the floor. Shake out your head. Yes, no, or maybe so. We'll take about 4 breaths here. So you can always adjust your feet. If you feel you need to take your legs wider, that will decrease the amount of stretch. If you want more of a stretch, feet slightly closer together. Hands on the floor between your legs and draw your chest through. Shake your head out. Tip the weight out of your heels for 1 more breath. Good, and then bring your hands to your hips. Lead with your chest. Bring yourself all the way back up. And turn your toes to the left for Warrior 2. Stretch out your arms, deep bend into your left knee. Adjust your feet. You might want to take your feet a little further apart here. Find your steady posture, strong legs, soles of your feet stretching out on the mat. And then notice if perhaps you're still holding on in your neck or in your shoulders, or even around your abdominals. Take a deep breath into your belly. Great stuff. Straighten your left knee. Maybe walk your right foot in slightly for triangle. So for triangle, right shoulder, right hip, draw back. Reach over to your left and then windmill your arm. Look up to the sky. Right shoulder, right hip, draw back. Left shoulder draws forward. If you don't need that hand, reach it forwards. Hold that twist and that lean. Squeeze your glutes together for a bit of extra help. Feel how strong all those muscles around your middle are for 1 more breath. Lovely. And bring yourself up. Give your shoulders a roll. Turn your toes back in to face the middle. Reach your hands behind your back. Interlock your fingers. Open your chest. Bend your knees. Stick out your tail. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Hands come over your head. Let your head dangle so you're nodding your head. Tip the weight out of your heels and give in to gravity. One more breath. Good. Lead with your chest. Push down with your feet to bring yourself back up to standing. Release your hands, shake out your wrists and step your feet so that you're at the top of your mat. Feet side by sides, hands resting down comfortably. Take an inhale, reach up, open your chest, draw your tailbone down. As you exhale, lengthen forward, allow your knees to bend a little bit so that you can come all the way down to the floor. Take your inhale, come up halfway, flatten your back, lengthen your front. And as you exhale, step or walk or jump to a high plank. Soften your elbows as you lower down. It's fine to drop your knees. As you inhale, up dog or cobra, open your chest. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Let's have a look at side plank. So if you're not going to max capacity, you can drop your right knee down and come up that way. If you want the full version, come onto the little toe side of your right foot, the big toe side of your left foot, and reach up with your hands. There's also the option to stack your feet if you prefer that, or take your left foot behind. Loads of variations. You can come into a tree. We're going to take 3 more breaths. So keep powering down through your right arm. Lift your hips up to the sky. Last breath. Ooh. Great stuff. Bring your left arm down. There's an optional vinyasa here, or you can wait in down dog or child's pose. And then let's do the other side. So come on now to your right leg. You might be dropping your knee, which is all well and good. Or you might be doing the full version, any variation with your right leg. Reach up to the sky. Lift your hips up as well. Stretch your right arm. Take 1 more breath. Great. Bring your right arm down. There's time for a vinyasa, or you can wait in down dog or child's pose. And then we'll take 3 breaths. Option to drop your knees and come to child's pose, or you can wait in down dog, but use this time to come back to your full and steady breath. To scan through your body so you know you're not hanging on or gripping. One more breath. Great stuff. And then wherever you've been, bring yourself onto all fours. So if you're in down dog, pop down your knees. If you're in child's pose, bring yourself up. And we'll have a look at forearm dog. So set up your arms so that your elbows are roughly under your shoulders. For what we're about to do, we need to have the wrists in line with the elbows. So there's a straight line, so you don't want your elbows to be splaying out and your wrists coming into the middle. So try and have your forearms parallel, spread your fingers. Tuck your toes under and come to downward facing dog legs. Push into your forearms and draw your chest through. You might find your head is skimming the floor. We're going to do a chest and shoulder strengthener and tricep strengthener. So start off by pushing your chest back, working your heels down to the floor. And then as you inhale, we're going to look forward and bring your chest forwards. As you exhale, push back. We'll do 3 more. Forwards on your inhale, push back on your exhale. 2 more. Forwards and back. Last one. Forwards and back. Lovely. Drop your knees, take your bum to your heels, rest your head. And take your arms back next to your feet. Let your elbows and your shoulders melt away from each other. And take some deep breaths again. One more breath. Great stuff. Set your hands next to your knees so that you can bring yourself up and over onto your bum. Legs out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall for Dandasana. So you can always sit up on a cushion or a block if you like. You can bend your knees, but you really want that lifting up feeling. Flex your feet, look towards your big toes. Hands rest next to your body. So if you feel that you're rounding a lot or that you want to roll back, I'd really strongly suggest sitting on something. I sat on a block for like the first 5 years of my yoga practice. It's not cheating, it's not a cop-out. Keep lifting up tall, flex your feet. Take 1 more breath. And then let your knees rest a minute. Your legs rest, so give your knees a little bit of a shake. We'll come forward into Paschimottanasana. So again, you want that feeling of lifting up out of your waist. If it feels helpful, lift your arms up as you lengthen your front body over your legs. Arms come wherever they come to. You then might want to start working on a little bit of a straighter leg. Use your inhale to lengthen, so your shoulders draw back, your chest stays open. So you might find that interlocking your fingers behind your back is a nice way to get that feeling. Keep lengthening your chest forward, drawing your chin in, and then find a bit of softness. Release your arms, take your hands wherever they come to you. And we'll take 5 long breaths. So with the inhale, we're finding a bit of length. With the exhale, a little bit of letting go, a little bit of softness. Two more breaths. And then use your inhale to bring yourself back up. Take your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your bum, and open out your chest. Point your toes, bring your feet together, draw your chest forward. You can stay right here, or if you want to do Purvottanasana, lift up your hips up towards the ceiling. So you put a straight line. So if you feel you're sagging a lot, maybe keep your bum down and really work on that chest opening. If you're lifting up, you're squeezing your glutes up to the sky and maybe letting your head drop back. So you do need quite a lot of chest and shoulder mobility to do the full version. Last breath. Great. Slowly bring yourself back down. Bring your right leg in, your left leg a little bit out for Janu Shirshasana. Same rules apply. Angle your body over your left leg. Sit up really tall. We're going to hinge forwards. Any way you want to get in. Maybe it's an arm lift. Maybe hands are behind the back for your first few breaths. Keep your chest open, your foot flexed, and take 3 full breaths. If you're already at your foot, then cross at your wrists. Open your elbows out to the sides. 1 more breath. Good. As you inhale, bring yourself back up to seated. Cross your right foot over your left. So I'm angling myself so it's easier for you to see. So your left leg is straight in front of you, foot's flexed. Your right foot is crossed over, and point your foot out towards your left. And bring your hands down as well. So hand and foot are both pointing forwards. Lift up your right hip. Bring your right shoulder in front of your leg. And see if you can take hold of your little toe side of your extended foot. If that's not an option, then you can come into a twist here, elbow resting on your knee, doesn't matter about that foot, and look over your left shoulder. If you have got your foot in your hand, we're going to come and have a go at baby grasshopper. So if you think about this foot and this hand as being your feet, both of them being your feet, they'll be bearing your weight. So it's nice to gather a bit of momentum, and then you want to really push your right thigh into the back of your left calf as you come forward. So boom, and then the full posture is you're hovering off the floor. So your weight, a lot of weight is in your left hand, and pushing that foot firmly into your other hand is a really nice way. And this is the hardest way to come into this posture. So if you've got this position and lifting up is hard, then try coming into it from standing up. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so release your legs, take a minute. I suddenly feel like I need to bring my knees in and have a little rock from side to side, so that might be what you want to do. And then bring yourself back up, and we'll try the other side. So remember, there's no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. Right foot comes in this time, we'll do Janu. Left foot comes in this time, and we'll do Janu Shirshasana. Flex your right foot, little angle of your body. Sit up tall as you inhale, As you exhale, take some deep breaths into your stretch. Don't worry about what's coming up. Keep your attention on your forward fold and guiding your breath into the back of your body. Last breath. Great stuff. As you inhale, bring yourself back up. So your right leg is pointing straight away. Your left leg is crossed over. If you're not doing baby dragonfly, you can still hook your left elbow and come into a twist from your waist. If you want to go for it, see if you can bring your left hand to your left little toe. So you're really drawing your right shoulder inwards. Turn this foot to face forward. So your hand and your foot will bear your weight. So you might want to slightly adjust if you know where you're going. Maybe draw the right hip back a little bit. And then remember that connection between the foot, the leg, the two legs is quite important. Lift up your hips. I'm not doing this very gracefully at all. But maybe take your right arm out to the side. It's not happening for me on this side. Great, and then release. So if you want to try that, so cross up your ankles, come on to all fours, tuck your toes, take a big breath in downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Hang forwards for a minute and then slowly roll up. Because this is a pre-recorded video, I've got time to show you that from standing. So remembering that for this side, your left hand and your right foot act as your weight bearers, as your feet. So you want that feeling that your leg is coming behind. Bring the back of your knee onto the back of your calf, and maybe you can reach hold of your foot. Take that left hand wherever it feels comfortable. You want to imagine you're going to take your left bum cheek to the floor. But you can hold yourself so you don't. And then you're hovering. And then to come out, you can simply sit down, and then you might find that you can come up from the floor again. So give that a go, and then let's try the other side. So this time your right hand and your left foot are bearing the weight. Soften your left knee, bring your knee behind your calf and take hold of the little toe side of your foot. And then straighten your leg. Your right hand for some needs to come further out. And then that connection between your thigh and your calf is important. And then bring your chest to the floor. And then come to sit down. So it's a nice thing to have a look at if that's what you're working towards. Okay, so bring the soles of your feet together. Take hold of your feet. Sit up tall, take a big breath in, and then draw your shoulders back. Perhaps you're hinging forward a little for Baddha Konasana. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Make this your last breath. And then use your inhale to bring yourself up. Bring your knees together and give your legs a shake out. Great, and then bring yourself towards the top edge of your mat. Hook your knees, tuck your chin and bring yourself to lie down. Keep your knees into your chest and gently rock or make circles. Finding a nice release for your back. Set your left foot down, take your right ankle just above your knee. Open your knee out to the side. Lift up. Take hold of your left leg. Pull it in. Keep opening your right knee out and draw your lower back down to the floor. Soften your shoulders. Free up the back of your neck. And take some deep breaths. and then change sides. So your right foot rests on the floor, left ankle just above your knee. Open your knee out, lift up, take hold of your right leg, squeeze it in. Tuck your shoulders under and draw your lower back down to the floor. Let your shoulders soften, let your neck and jaw relax, and take some deep breaths. Last breath. And then release your legs. Set your feet down on the floor and gently start to rock your knees right and left. And then bring your knees back to the middle. Make sure that your heels are just out of reach of your hands. You can turn your toes out. And then as you inhale, scoop your tail up. Lift your hips up off the floor. Shuffle your shoulders under, and you can either keep the palms of your hands down on the floor or perhaps interlock your fingers. Push down into your feet, squeeze your glutes, and really try and find an opening in the front of your body. You can let the back of your neck lengthen, so chin's drawing in. Let's take one more breath. And then release the grip of your fingers, lift up your heels and slowly roll down, one vertebra at a time, placing each part of your spine down carefully. When you get to the bottom, keep going. So you're pushing your tailbone down so your middle back's lifted up. And then find a neutral spine, drop your heels and gently rock left and right. And then come back to the middle. This time start with your feet a little closer to your bum. If you can hold on to your heels or your ankles, tuck your shoulders under, or at least your fingers brushing your heels or thereabouts. And then inhale, scoop up, shuffle your shoulders under. You can reach your feet. You can take hold of the backs of your heels. That's quite a nice variation. You can always interlock again, or take your hands underneath your back for a bit of support. Keep your elbows drawing in, and if you have done this variation, push down through your feet so you're not simply dumping all of your weight into your hands. Imagine you're gripping a brick between your knees. Squeeze your bum up to the sky. We'll take 3 more breaths. If you feel comfortable here, have a go lifting one leg up and then the other. And then when you've done that, lift up your heels. Release your arms and roll down, one vertebra at a time. And then drop your heels, and you can rock your knees right and left a few times. And then give your legs a squeeze in, lift up your nose as well so that you're rounding your back. From here, take hold of your feet. Let your head rest on the floor, take your knees wide. Use your hands to push your feet down to the floor. At the same time, try and lower more of your lower back into the floor. And give your shoulders a shake so you know that they're soft. Relax your face and close your eyes. And take 3 really steady, mindful breaths. And when you finish your third exhale, bring your feet together, lift your legs up towards the ceiling. You can stay like this, or if you want to come to shoulder stand, roll up onto your upper back and use your hands to support your back, feet straight up into the air. Keep walking your hands up your back so that you get the feeling that your hips are coming towards your face, your thighs away, and this action will switch on your glutes, which will help you feel stronger in this posture. Try not to turn your head unless you need to, and if you have to, do it really carefully. And we'll stay here for 7 or so more breaths. Take one more breath. And then start to come into plow, halasana, so feet over your head. They might land on the floor or a piece of furniture or the wall. You can always deepen the posture by walking your feet further away. And then interlock your fingers, stretch your arms away. Three more breaths. Great. And then slowly start to unroll. Use your arms as brakes, so spread your fingers. And you can set up your hands so that as you unroll, you end up sitting on your hands, palms facing down. Stretch your arms away and bring your legs down straight and together. And you end up feet together, toes pointed, sitting on your hands. And then draw your elbows in, puff out your chest, and push into your arms so that you can bring yourself up to look towards your feet. Walk your elbows in, push into your forearms, puff out your chest, and let your head drop back. Keep opening your collarbones, point your toes, and breathe into the space behind your collarbones. One more breath. And then come onto the back of your head, release your arms, give your knees a final squeeze in, and then we'll finish off with a twist on each side. So take your right knee in, stretch your left leg away. Pull your knee in towards your shoulder first for a breath, and then take your left hand to guide your right knee all the way down towards the floor. Reach back out with your right arm and turn your head. Guide your breath into your left ribs and breathe deeply. And then when you finish your next exhale, come back up to the middle. Adjust your spine, give your knees a squeeze, take an inhale. And as you exhale, stretch out your right leg. Guide your knee across to the right and reach back over to your left. Take some long breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, come back to the middle. Readjust your spine. Give your knees a squeeze once more. And then make your preparations for Shavasana, final relaxation. So arms and legs in a position that you're comfortable. Make sure that you'll be warm enough so you can always add on a blanket or a jumper. And when you found a position where you're comfortable, close your eyes. And take a big breath in through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. And you can do this another couple of times. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Make a conscious decision to relax your whole body. Checking for any gripping or holding on maybe around your hips, your glutes, your pelvic area. And then taking your attention to your ribs and the space around your heart. And find a feeling of complete surrender, complete letting go. You might be able to tune into your heartbeat. And then beginning to notice now the weight of your shoulder blades and your arms. And softness around your neck, your throat, your jaw. Letting go of any gripping perhaps in your face, around your eyes, nose, mouth, forehead. Noticing the inner corners of your eyes, where your tear ducts are. And now the outer corners. Soften your eyes, your eyebrows, and the space between your eyebrows. Feel the weight of your head on the floor and all the other points of contact your body has with your ground, your yoga mat. And use your exhales to let go even more. And then each time your mind wanders off or you become distracted, tune into that gentle rise and fall of your breath. And now start to deepen your breath. Become a little bit more of your surroundings. Start to make tiny movements. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Any other movements that feel intuitive. You might want to find a stretch or curl in. Take your time and slowly start to bring yourself back to a seated position, how we began, cross-legged or kneeling. Try and keep your eyes closed or your gaze downwards. And when you get to the top, rest your hands in a prayer position in front of your chest. Take a moment sitting here, find softness in your neck, your shoulders, and then let your mouth form a smile. And take your hands up to your forehead for loving thoughts, to your mouth for loving words, and to your heart for a loving heart. Thank you.